welcome back to the second part. So let's exit, and what I want to do now is let's go right up here, and I want to create the following functions. So I'm going to go right up here, okay, right underneath the initialize here. This is what I'm going to do. Let's come right down here, enter. Let me just enter a line here, and I'm going to call that functions. Right, so I need two of those really. So let's copy this. It's going to be for the very first one and the second one. Okay, right. So for the very first function, what I want to use that for is just to add up whatever I have on the third column here. The third column on this very table. I want to add that up. Okay, so let's do that. So back up there. So right here, I'm going to first of all declare the following. Let's say double. I'm going to call that sum. Hold on. Let's do this first. Let's say public. What shall I call it? Public void item cost. Okay. And instead of just, I will declare the variable in there, and I'm going to initialize it with a 0. Okay, that's the very first one. And let's enter it actually in a curly braces. Okay, and here I should enter parentheses, so that takes care of that. So now that is my variable declared in there, and it's initialized with 0. So let's use a for loop now. One other thing, let's see. Okay, let's just use a for loop. Say for, I'm going to call that int I, because I haven't actually declared an I there. So I'm going to say int I equals 0, enter semicolon. Now I'm going to end up and say I is less than, let's go for table. I think that is the name, table dot, okay, it's right. Let's say get row. Where's the row? Row counts. And this row count, let's say comma I plus plus, and close that. Alright. Now what we want to do is, let's say we say int table for I equals 0, I less than table dot get row count, and okay, let's open up the braces in there. Now I've got that sorted. We're going to say sum equals sum plus, let's say double dot pass, and what am I passing? That's going to be double as well. And what I am passing is actually whatever I have inside my table, so it's going to be table dot get the value, dot get value. And what is the value that I'm getting? That value is going to be I. Okay, no, not one I, there should be an I, and here it's going to be the column, and that column that I'm talking of is column number 2. Because when you look at my table here, let's come in here, the table is 0, that's the first column, 1, second column, 2, column number 2. This is where the calculation is going to start from. And that reminds me, you see this table, I'm going to get rid of this column in there, so I might as well just do that now. Now that I've spotted that, come in here and just get rid of that. So you see the row, make that 0. there, and that is it. So column 0, 1, 2. Now back into my function here. So that's the column 2, because I'll be calculating all the content inside column 2, and then I also want to convert it dot to string. There we go. There, enter semicolon in there. So that should take care of my calculation. Whatever is inside number 2 is sum up and stored right inside sum. Okay, now I'm going to enter all of these straight into my, let's say, jtxt subtotal dot set. And what am I setting in there is going to be double dot string, double dot to string. Yeah. And what is that meant to be? It's going to be sum. So just double click and grab the sum. So the sum is now stored inside the subtotal. Okay. Now, one other thing I want to do is I want to then convert everything inside subtotal. So to do that, let me declare another, let's say double, just to get all the stuff that I have inside sums. Double, and I'll call that ctotal. And this ctotal is going to be double dots, let's pass whatever we have inside subtotal. So I'm going to grab all of these here, paste it right here, grab subtotal, paste it right here. In this case, this is going to be get and enter semi parentheses there, and then cover that up. There we go. So whatever we have inside the subtotal is now stored inside ctotal. Now let's create another double. This double I'm going to call the ctax. Ctax is going to be equals to ctotal. Let's multiply that by tax. So let me make up a tax value in here. I'm going to say, let's say double. We say tax, and that is equals 3.9. There, initialize it with 3.9. I'm going to grab that very tax now. Grab it and just paste it right here. That will be ctotal multiplied by tax, and let's divide that by 100. There we go. So that will give us the tax, and this tax is now stored in here. Okay, now we know the tax. We already have our subtotal. That's no problem. So let's do one thing now. Now I want to enter all of these inside the text box. So let's go back here and just say string I tax total. That would be equals string dot format. String dot format, and what I've formatted, I want to convert it to pound sign, so I might as well just enter a pound sign here, and %, and let's make that 2 decimal space, and that should denote floats, right? And close that up. And what do I need in there? That's going to be the tax. So I'm going to grab this ctax, paste the ctax right in here. Now this I tax total, and I want to assign that into my txt let's say jTxt tax dot set, and that is going to be equals I tax total. There, now I've achieved one. Okay, now let's repeat the same thing for subtotal and the total. So in the case of subtotal, I might as well just copy this and change the name around. Come right down here, paste that. This becomes subtotal. And what do I want inside subtotal? In the case of subtotal, what I actually want in there is going to be, I'm going to call that I subtotal. So change this to I subtotal. And I subtotal is right in here. Now, what are we officially converting? We are converting C total. Let's go back. We are converting whatever we have inside C total here, this very one. So I'm going to copy that and paste that in here. Okay, now whatever I have in here is now stored inside this string character, which is now assigned back to the subtotal, but with the pound sign. Okay, let's do the same thing for the total. I'm going to grab all of these, come right down here, paste. This become, I'm going to change that to I total, and this will be I total, and this becomes jTxt total. Okay, now I'm going to I'm going to add C total plus C tax, and that will give us the total amount. So we're adding subtotal and tax, and that's all there is to that. Now all of these that we've done, we now want to be able to store them inside the barcode reader. So come down here, paste that in there, and I'm going to just create something here. We'll call it barcode. Yeah, and this barcode will store everything straight inside. Barcode for me, and this is barcode here. In the case of the barcode, I don't need a pound sign, so I'm just going to change this one to total. Total is there. That is total plus tax, and that takes care of the barcode, so that is fine. Alright, so the function that will take care of the calculation is taken care of. Okay, let's take a good look at it from the top here and bring it down here. There, that's all there is to it. Okay, the other function I'm going to create now is going to be for the change. So I'm going to come here. So let's just maybe grab this. I'll grab all of this. There, come right down here. If a customer deposits some amount, they will need a change. So let's create a function in here and close that here. So the sum as usual initialized with 0, total tax is initialized with 3.9, and here let's declare another one. Let's say double. That will be cash. Let's say cash, that's the amount deposited, equals, let's go for double dot pass. Grab that and come right down here, double dot pass, and what are we passing? That is going to be whatever we have inside txt display, jtxt display dot get text. There, Okay, now close that up. There. Alright, now come down here. Okay, we're having this sign because we haven't used any of those, so we're going to make use of them now. First thing first, let's use a for loop. I'm going to grab this for loop here. Just grab everything. Maybe grab all of these. There we go. Right up to here. Yeah, up to here. Grab all of these. I'm going to delete what I don't need. So we're typing. Now, there's that underneath here, and I'm going to get rid of these for now. Yes, get rid of that. We don't need it. This is all I need. Okay, C tax is this, so this total I'm going to change that to sum. This very one. Grab that, paste that in here. There. Oh, come on. Let's see. Tax. There we go. C tax. This, no, it's not a C tax, it is tax actually. Tax. This very tax here. Multiply that by sum. And we divide it by 100, and that is it. Okay. Now let's say double another variable. I'm going to call that C change, customer change. That will be equals cost minus the sum plus C total, C tax, and come out of it there. So we add up the sum and the tax, we deduct that from whatever the customer, whatever amount the customer handed over. So we're gonna now come in here and say string, let's call that change, maybe change given, and change given equals string dot format, and that is going to be pound sign. So we can just grab all of these here, grab that and paste that in here. There we go. And change, C change, bring that over here. There, enter semicolon here. Alright, so we now want every information in here inside our jtxt change dot set. And what are we setting in there? That is going to be change given. Grab this and paste that in there. Right. Okay, that is the function that will calculate whatever amount customer handed over, and this will be deducted. Whatever is handed over is deducted from the total cost, and then change is given. Right, now that is done. Let's go back in here. Right, you see these buttons here? Let's add some images to them. And right here are the images I intend to add. There they are. So let's start with the very first one. Okay, let's say minimize that. Select this very one, and I will now go into icon. Okay, make sure the object is selected. That is it, the icon. Go in there, and let's give it a name as well. I'm going to call that JBTN. Let's say that is going to be copper cappuccino. No, the cappuccino, there should be a U in there. Yeah, that is it. So this one, make sure it is selected, and let's go in here. See the icon, click on the icon, and once you click on the icon, we now want absolute part. So I'm going to select this, and let's browse, and that is my cappuccino. It's £2.57. so there we go, and make sure the absolute part is there. There we go, right there. So the next one, let's go for something else, maybe canned drink. I'm going to call that JBTN, canned drinks, and let's look for the icon of that. That is the icon. Click on that and select the absolute part, and click on that where is canned drink. There we go. So I think it's 50 something p there, and make that absolute. Click. And the next one, let's go for something burger or maybe cake. Absolute. And where is it? So maybe I should settle for, let's come down a little bit, settle for that cake. Yep, absolute part. There we go. Now, what else do we need? Let's go for maybe coffee. Select that absolute part, and yeah. Okay, let's just speed up that of the images now that you guys get the whole idea. Okay, and all the images are now on each button. So now let's say all the buttons now have their own various images. So I'm going to double click on this very first one. The price is £2.57. Double click on that, and we will declare a variable right in there. So we'll come right down here. I think it's called cappuccino. So I'm going to say dim double, and that is going to be price of item. That is equals £2.57 there. So price is now initialized. Now let's grab my table. So the table itself, where I want to store everything, I'm going to say default table mode. That will be equals, let's put this in a bracket here, copy that, paste that in here, there, and that is going to be equals the name of my table, which is just called table dot get model right there, and then enter semicolon. Okay, now we want this model is of dot add rows. There we go. That add rows, and what are we adding? That is going to be, let's say new object, and that object is going to be in an array. There we go. Come on, let's do that again. New object, and that's going to be in an array. Then enter curly braces here, and close up that curly braces. Close this up, and inside the curly braces that I've entered in here, I am now going to enter as follows. Let's close all of this in here. The very first one, that is known as cappuccino. I'm going to grab the cappuccino. That is the name. Let's paste that in quotes there. Cappuccino, come out of it. And how many do I want? I actually want I'm going to say there's going to only be one, and come out of it, comma, then we enter the price of each item. Grab that, paste that in here, there we go, and that takes care of that. Now this is where we will use our function. We now want to call the function to carry out the calculation. So item cost, carry out the calculation, at the same time paste the cost on the inside the table or on the table, and that's all there is to that. Look at it. So I'm going to run it. Let's run it and see how that's going to work. Anyway, for the very first one, run. Okay, if we click on this, we should be able to see the item, how many, and the amount. There we go. Look at that, guys. And again, and you see the barcode itself is now changing and also telling us the price or the cost. There we go. Look at that. So all I just need to do now is to copy this and use it to change these ones around. That is it. Then here we will be dealing with the total and so on. This one is working as well. That is good. Our receipt is not working yet. Okay, go back in there, copy all of this. Now go back to the image, double click on the can, that's 57, paste, and that is 57. Change that to 0. 57, that's supposed to be can drinks. Come in here and change this to can drinks, and I've changed the variable as well. That is taken care of. Now let's take care of the next one right beside it. Cake. Double click, come right here, it's just called cake. Paste that in there, and how much is the cake really? So the cake is £2.75. £2.25. So that is just cake. There. Copy. The next one as coffee. What is it called? It's just called coffee. So we'll come down here and let's change that to coffee. Copy. Coffee. I'll undo that. It's been an error there. So this is just going to be coffee. There. And how much is this coffee? That is £1.90. £1.90. Coffee taken care of. Now let's take care of the next one right beside the coffee. That's to do with cake. Red cake is called. Come right down here. I guess you guys get the whole idea. So I'm gonna have to speed this up. This is red cake, and the cost of the red cake is what? £2.45. £2.45. Let me run it before I speed it up so that you guys get the whole idea. Let's see, that is cappuccino, canned drinks, cakes, coffee, red cake. So let's speed that up now. Come straight to the next one, and I'm going to grab all of these and double click on this, paste it right in here, and that is angel cake. Grab the angel cake, paste it right in here, and I guess you guys get the whole idea. That is $2.90. Okay, let's speed that up. Okay, I've finished coding all of the buttons, so let's run it and see how that's gonna look like. This is the last one. Run. There we go. And look at that, check that out, guys. That's good. And there. So all we need to do is to be able to add this up. If we enter cash, or if it's Visa card, we don't need to enter anything in here, or MasterCard, only cash. There. Okay, let's exit out. First thing first, let's do this. See the reset button. Let's take care of the reset. Double click on the reset. There. And in the reset, I'm going to need the following data. So let's say jTXT. So the very first one, I'm going to change that to display dot set text equals no. There. That should be inside the bracket though. Equals none. That's the very first one taken care of. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other text, or for the other text box. And that is it. All taken care of for all the text box. So let's do one for our table there. That is for my table there. Okay. So now let's take care of pay. Yeah, let's take care of pay. Double click on pay. Okay, right inside pay here, let's use an if statement. If j txt, no, it's not a txt, it's a combo, j cbo payment, yeah, dot. So I'm going to say dot get selected item, and this selected item dot equals, and what is the equals of cash? So let's say cash, because cash is in, yeah, come out of it there. There we go. So in that case, get hold of the function called change. Okay, let's close this. There's meant to be one more closing there. Okay, else when I want you to clear out as follows. So let me come right down here and just say else clear the following: txt jtxt change dot set text, that is equals nothing there. And we'll repeat exactly the same thing for the next one here. Okay, let's just clear it. Right, the next one is going to be display. Grab all of this, paste it right underneath here, and this is going to be display. There we go. Right. Okay, now let's take care of the, let's come in here and take care of 1, 2 is taken care of. Let's take care of print. I may have to speed up the print. Double click on that and right in here, there we go, that is print, taken care of from here down here. Alright, so let's go back in here. Now that print is taken care of, 1, 2, 3 done. Now let's take care of remove item. Double click on remove item. So I'm going to need the code inside pay. Let's grab all of that, grab that, and go back in there. Double click on remove item. Yeah, in the case of remove item, first of all I'm going to paste the stuff that I've copied and in here, and the remove item itself is going to be whatever we have inside the table here. Okay, we'll remove that. That is it right here. Then we call this very first function up there. Okay, so I think we only have one more, which is the exits. But first thing, let's save all of this. So have a good look at the remove item lines of codes there. From here up to here, that's the remove item lines of codes. Okay, we call the function to deduct whatever we've removed. That's all there is to that. So run. So enter items in there. That's good. Now let's select an item to remove. Remove item. There we go. That's working. There. See that? And the cost is actually deducted. Okay, so let's see. Print, click on print. That is print. Print is working. So if I click on Adobe, it's selected. So click on print. And that's it. It's actually prompting us to save. So I'm just going to call it Java printing. So click on that. Save. And that should open up now. Okay, there we go. That is it. So let's minimize that. Alright, the printing is working. As you can see, the item in here are writing in my PDF file. So close that. Now let's take care of exit. So in the case of exit, what the first thing I'm going to do is to create a private. Let's go right up here. Let's see, it might be there though. Oh, okay, it's already there. Okay, private JFrame. So go back in there, inside exit, double click on that. So with the exit, come right here, inside the procedural area of the exit. So we will start by, let's say frame equals new frame, new JFrame. And this new JFrame, the alias is going to be exit. There. Okay. The next thing is use an if statement. If J option plain dot show confirm dialog, and in there that is going to be the frame itself. Let's say frame and comma, and I'm just going to say confirm if you want to exit. Confirm if you want to exit, and come out of it, comma, enter the name of my project. That is going to be the title, point of sale. There. Okay, enter a comma here and press enter. Here, comma, press enter. Go to the next line, and in here I'm going to enter J option plain again. Dots, yes, no option. Yes, no option here. Grab that, and J option. So equals J option dot yes no option again. There. Come out of it, just press enter curly braces. In that case, it's going to be system dot exit, and that is all there is to that. There we go. So I've just taken care of the lines of code for exit as well. So all we then need to do now is just to run our program. Save it first, run, and let's try it out. Select whatever item you want. We might as well just select it all to make sure it's working. There we go. That is it. All is working fine. Look at that. That's the cost. Let's assume 70 pounds was deposited, and cash. Make sure cash is selected. Now click on pay there. So this is actually deducted from 70, and that's what we end up with. We can reset the whole lot. Reset. There we go. Enter new item. There we go, guys. And because of that, let's say E is not entering any cash, so that's fine. Nothing will happen. Supposing we enter Visa card, nothing will happen as well, because that's a Visa card. But if we enter cash, that means we have to enter whatever amount we've been paid and click on total, and there we go. And we can also delete. Come in here, click on delete item. Let's remove item that we don't want, and you see the change is now increasing. So with that, guys, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. And once more, thank you to, I'm going to say thank you to KD, thank you to Douglas Osman, thank you Sam Lute, and thank you Dominic for being a channel member. And you all have a nice day now, and bye for now.